You.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll be tonight
A
watching.
little issue with the pitch com with Ryder Helfrich.
We need to start sponsoring these technology interruptions during the course of our telecasts.
What is it?
Somebody forgetting to charge the batteries on these things, or what do we got going
I
on
hope
here?
not.
I have to check with Zach Barr, who's trying to doctor this thing
I mean,
back
it must
together.
take these catchers an extra 10 minutes just to get suited up with their earpieces, their pitch comms, and
Could get a little dicey on a game that's got some rain to it, all the electronic wires and gear you have on. Helfrich's trying to get back in the behind the dish. There we go.
well, Petrie had a double in the first inning, hit it 106 off his bat. His 30th hit of the year.
He's got those old school high socks going too. Defines that strike zone just a little bit easier.
Gamecocks feel like with the wind blowing in, it's kind of knocked down a couple of balls Petrie could have had home runs on. That is a big time pop up on the infield. Hogs everywhere converging. Fahiva Loy hanging with it.
Yeah, you just felt like that when you saw that Nolan Sue, the second baseman, started calling it, and Aloy goes, this thing's blowing over to me. It moved probably about 15, 20 feet.
How about Fahiva going with no sleeves? Normally he's got the ski mask on and just about everything he can put under that jersey.
Well, he does have an arm sleeve on, so there's at least
On one of them.
one of them.
This is Scobie. Bounce to short. To end the first.
Maybe he's just getting used to this cold weather.
Got to have your cheat sheet in your back pocket. Wave it a miss by Scobie. Well, Zach Root has been economical. Troy, if he can get it out here and be done with 4 innings on 42 pitches.
Man, that's really good, really good.
Oh, 2 pitch to Scobie. Poked foul, back and out of play.
Already, Root's got 4 punch outs, 2 looking. That was 95 on that last pitch by Root.
Feels like that's some juice.
Yeah,
We've seen him at 92, 93.
Yeah, I think that's what he's topped out for the season. It's a great one ball, 2 strike pitch. Or like maybe 0-2, excuse me. It was off the plate, but it's one of those ones he has is an off-speed breaking ball. It's a competitive pitch. That's what you want.
He misses high, so Scobie competing back in this count. 2-2.
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, you're 0-2 if you're Scobie. Now you feel like you're in more of a hitter's count.
Who gets a foul ball that took a chunk out of Ryder Helfrich. Not sure I want to know where that hitting.
Seen Zach Root take some deep breaths. I think
Oh,
Helfrich's
yeah, well,
right there with him.
I think Jeff Head asked a question and
Yeah, got his
Ryder
answer.
answered.
It's like catching's not for the faint of heart.
It is not. Not for the timid or the meek. That's strike 3 call. Another perfect inning. Troy, another strikeout, and Zach Root and the Razorbacks have a 5-0 lead.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy
Isn't I?
without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White, now playing only in theaters. Rated PG.
movement that inspires. Febreze.
Love your plugins but wish you had more scent control? Introducing the new Febreze Plug Scent Booster. Enjoy the same 50 days of continuous scent as Febreze Plug, including a cord for flexible placement options and a boost button for extra scent. New Febreze Plug Scent Booster.
Febreze.
When you host, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. Keep things fresh with Febreze Bathroom. It's an outlet-free air freshener that fights odors for 45 days. So even after every flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing.
So let's take a look at what Arkansas got going in the second inning. After a double by Cam Kojal, with the shift on, Justin Thomas Jr. hit just a pellet through the infield. The bobble in the outfield allowed Kojal to come around and score. And then in the third inning, the wheels kind of came off the bus for the Gamecocks. Just a chopper up the middle, caught the lip of the grass, got under the shortstop, and allowed a pair of runs to score. They scored 4 runs in that inning, Brett. That was a tough inning for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, 4 runs on 1 hit. So Matthew Becker comes on to work here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, we're going to see Becker sit at the around 90 to 92 with that fastball. Throws a overhand curve and a changeup as well. Opponent's only hitting .219 off of Becker. See really good strikeout numbers for innings pitched.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot for South Carolina. A year ago when Arkansas took 2 out of 3 from the Gamecocks in Columbia, Becker earned the win in relief in lone Gamecock W, 2 1/3 innings. Top of the line. Boy and Maxwell here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Really a tough break for Stone because he really did throw that bat.
Another base hit to left by Davalon. He's 2 for 3, and Troy, he has been wearing out the left side of the diamond. He came back from Arlington, he had just 2 base hits. And what he has done is he's had an approach of using that left field, left center. I think we've got some flow charts that we're going to show you on where he's hit the baseball. And it's been over and over again at a high success level.
It's just the confidence to let the ball travel deep into the zone, because if you try to pull that baseball if you're left-handed, you're going to ground out to second base.
Just really outstanding back control as Vahiva Aloy will wave and miss. You know, when he got rid of that leg kick, he wanted to stop some soft ground outs to second base. When he had that huge, almost Japanese Ichiro-style leg kick, and then he went to a much calmer approach and started wearing out left field.
Well, I think that when you have that big leg kick and just kind of hang that leg in the air, your timing has to be just picture perfect. And I think with a lot less motion, his head's not moving as much, and I think it allows him just to be more patient and see the ball longer, really.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just see that baseball a little bit longer. As Vahiva takes one up and out. Count a ball and a strike. Oh, had a swinging bunt, infield single back in the first.
Were you here? Y'all were here?
No, that was the one in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
High strike called, 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch up and in. The high strike is something that the SEC umpires were told that they really want to call the strike at the top of that strike zone, and just a kind of a point of emphasis this 25 season. Well, Becker would love to get a ground ball right here and erase that runner at first base, and also just figure out a way to get Vahiva Aloy out.
That's an upright stance from Vahiva. He's going to hit one in the air, down the line and right. The Winds will try and keep it near the pole, but it's foul into the Loge boxes. We were talking about Davalon's spray chart, Troy, and well, we've got some wonderful tools to dump in. Look in the last 15 games how much green there is on the left side of the diamond.
Yeah, look at even on the ground balls through the left side, just really taking advantage of teams trying to shift against him.
I mean, that's really a great approach. And then you see a few red dots behind the fence in right, so when he really gets into it, it's pull side homers. Aloy's going to swing and foul one into the glove of LeCroy. That's a big out for Becker.
Great pitch by Becker. Goes down in the zone. See the side swing right there. Down and in. That's a great job by Lee Croy coming up with that baseball.
That's now 227 career strikeouts for Becker and 164 plus innings.
Yeah, that's getting it done for a guy that's not just really overpowering with the velocity.
Paul Maneri had some fun comments about Becker a couple of weeks ago. He said he pitched better than anybody in the fall, but he said he reminded him of Jared Poche, a starter at LSU. Now, Poche won more games than any other pitcher in LSU history, but Paul said he was always in trouble, and sometimes you would watch him with his hands in front of your face and kind of looking through your fingers. But he said Becker can pitch out of trouble. You know, he said he's not an overpowering fastball guy, but players don't seem to hit it. So, of course, he spotted himself a base runner here in the fourth. And working through the heart of the lineup with Maxwell and then Eloy on deck.
Well, I think a guy like Becker, his strength is just his ability to mix up pitches and throw any pitch at any count. And as a hitter, you're always up there guessing because he's such a good strike thrower.
Pitch timer winding down as Becker delivers. That ball's ripped. High in the air, deep right field, up, out, and gone! Home run number 6 for Logan Maxwell. Some elevation and some punctuation, and the Razorbacks have a 7-0 lead. He's doubled up his home run total from a year ago at TCU.
Brett, in 3 years, he had 5 home runs at TCU, and he has put on about 15 pounds of muscle. And the second he hit that ball, he knew it. You can see Nate Thompson, the hitting coach's reaction. That was way out. About exit velocity of 106, about 390 feet just to the right of the scoreboard.
48th home run for the Razorbacks. They came in tied for third in the SEC, which was a dramatic jump from where they were in the first couple of weeks. Ball's been jumping here at Baum-Walker this year, and Razorbacks have been swinging for the fences. Here's Kahia Wadoy.
It's amazing how talkative you are after you hit a home run in the dugout.
You're feeling pretty good, aren't you?
You let everybody know what you saw, how it felt.
What's your heartbeat like coming into that dugout?
Oh,
Is it going through your chest?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And then I don't think you hit a step when you come down. You just kind of float down the steps.
We had somebody say they blacked out when they hit their first home run earlier this year.
Blacked out. You got to enjoy it.
You would think. Cahill drives one in the inner center. Well struck. Did he get enough? Back to the track. Not quite. Paul Dare to make the catch. 102 off the bat. Not enough carry, and Eloy is retired, and Becker gets the second out of the inning. Brent Iredale walked with the bases loaded back in the third, and he's reached base now in 23 straight games with a hit or a walk.
Yeah, again, just his patience at the plate has just been outstanding. Even like a pitch like that, just a great pitcher's pitch. You just have to tip your hat to Becker and just go, hey, that was right on the outside corner, knee high. Can't do anything with it.
Well, that pitch had some run in as well. Base is empty, 2 outs, but 2 in against Becker. Is that a swing? On the appeal, Will Van Raphorst says it is, so that's a strikeout. Becker gets a couple of Ks in the inning, but Troy Maxwell played a 2 on 1 mighty swing.
Boy, great extension by Logan Maxwell. You see the load and just the explosion on that swing.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, from the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 0% APR on a 2024 Prologue.
Walking forward. You're perfect. Not working. You're perfect. All around the world. You're perfect. All around the world.
Welcome, Wanderers. Here we wield the cosmic power of Mind Aid. Prepare yourself for a heavenly chorus of citrus whispers. Let the haze guide you as you journey through these realms. Juice. For you're not just drinking a beer. You're opening your mind to infinite wonder. Let your mind wander. Mind Haze.
I would say that's a pretty efficient and economical 4 innings of work.
Yeah, a really good bounce-back start for Zach Root. Really scuffled for the first time this season down at Oxford last weekend. And, the command just wasn't there, and so far tonight, it seems like he's really feeling that strike zone. It seems like the slow curve has been his kind of pitch of choice, just kind of nibbling on that outside corner.
Kennedy Jones struck out back in the second. One of 5 strikeout victims for Zach Root, making his first start here at Baum Walker in an SEC game after pitching previously at East Carolina. Have a pretty good atmosphere there as well. And the pitch to Jones is down.
Yeah, the jungle out there at East Carolina is pretty fun. That's what they call the fans outside the fence. Their fence is only probably about 5 foot tall, so you can see over the wall.
He's gone from the jungle to the hog pen.
I know. All kinds of craziness. It's an emphatic shake off of pitches, isn't it?
Again, he's left-handed. Good breaking ball for a strike.
Man, I tell you, that has been his pitch of choice when he's needed a good, solid pitch, is that slow overhand breaking ball coming in about 78, 79 miles an hour.
About 2,600 RPM. Hard hit, but foul outside the bag at first. Coach Beamer might want to enlist him.
I'm telling you, he's got linebacker written all over him.
Wave and a miss. The bat goes flying. Nearly got Coach Maneri. Strikeout number 6. I think everybody's okay, but there was a moment of trepidation.
You don't want to hit Coach Maneri or Ethan Petrie over there. You can say they're up on their toes.
Well, it hit the net above the dugout, and then it got Paul near his feet.
So you gotta get on Ethan a little bit. It's like you have to kind of have your coach's back right there. He was bailing.
This is Dalton Mayshore, and Troy, his father Damon was a sidewinder with me back in the old PCL days when I was broadcasting in Tucson. I think a couple of different years. Dad played for the A's and the Angels. Now Dalton's from Idaho. I'm pretty sure Damon was living in Tucson because he played at the U of A back in the day, bear down, and Damon's father played in the majors for the Expos. In fact, I think his dad Damon was born in Puerto Rico when Dad was playing winter ball down there.
Oh, so very cool.
Grandfather played in the big leagues. Dad played in the big leagues. He also has an uncle that I believe was a hitting coach at the major league level.
Very good pedigree.
That's fun, isn't it?
That is. Some great facts.
Can't shake a rock without finding a sidewinder here or there. Those that played when that was the Diamondbacks AAA team. I think Damon, his dad, coached for Phil Nevin for a couple of years with the Angels. Phil used to show up here periodically to watch basketball games. He was a friend of Muss. 2-2 is fouled back to the screen.
Good job by Mayshore to handle that high breaking ball. I think if you're Root, it seems like he's been trying to, for the strikeout pitch, he's been starting the breaking ball to right-handers off the plate and then dropping it on that outside corner.
That's a little bit in, 3-2. Fans haven't had a lot to grumble about today, so they almost have to force themselves into the game from time to time. 3-2, and Root's pitch misses, and that's ball 4. So he had been in cruise control for a period of time, but ends up walking Dalton Mayshore. And Troy, we talked about Zach Root really throwing 4 different pitches, and I don't mean just kind of sprinkling them in. He'll throw all 4.
Yeah, that's some pretty good percentages, and I'm a little surprised that he hasn't thrown the curveball more with the great average against, and you can see the success he's had with it tonight.
I'm curious as LeCroy steps in, continuing on that theme, whether you go in with a game plan and maybe you adjust based on what is working, or you feel compelled to try and incorporate pitches maybe a second time through, or maybe you lean on 3 pitches and all of a sudden that 4th one becomes more of a factor.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, Ryder Helfrich calls the pitches, and to me it almost seems like with Helfrich it just kind of leans on what the best pitch is, the quality of the pitch.
It's hard to throw 4 pitches for strikes.
It really is.
Sometimes it's hard to throw 2 or 3. But they really like the game that Helfrich calls, and again, he's on his own. He's not getting pitches. You know, watching that South Carolina series last weekend with Oklahoma, Skip Johnson, head coach for Oklahoma, he's got that walkie-talkie in front of his mouth on every pitch. So he's calling that pitch in. Here it is the responsibility of the man behind the plate tonight, Ryder Helfrich.
Well, I think that's why Dave Van Horn gets a lot of really good quality catchers, is because that's going to translate to the next level. You get into pro ball, you're going to call your own game.
Now, there might be a recommendation every once in a while, too. It's primarily their responsibility. Root hasn't been as sharp here in the last 6 or 7 pitches.
Seems like his rhythm is a little shaky right now. LeCroy without a home run this season, but there is some pop in that bat.
Ball's driven in the gap to right center field. This is trouble. It's going to take a bounce and go to the fence. Mayshore is going to go to third base, down 7 runs. He'll be held there, and a double from LeCroy. Swinging with that thumb issue, but he was still able to drive one out into the gap between Thomas and Maxwell.
Zach Root kind of falling behind LeCroy, had to groove that one right down the middle. The veteran catcher just smoked that one out to right center field. And I think in a normal game, not down 7 runs, that's an RBI right there, but you just can't take that chance.
No, base runners are important, and Jordan Carrion now will bat. Grounded out to Iredale at third. His only time in. There's a chopper to Vahiva. He looked to third, through to first. Gamecocks are on the board on the ground out from Carrion. It's a 7-1 game. Vahiva had so many options, he didn't know what to do there for a split second.
Yeah, he took a pretty good little pivot toward third base and thought against it.
I think he was looking at home as he was charging, because that ball came directly to him, pivoted to third, and then threw to first.
At the end of the day, he made the right decision. You got to get that for sure out. You can't go to third base right there and not get the runner.
Got a pinch hitter here, Will Tippett, hitting for Kazmar. Tippett has 15 at-bats on the season. Takes strike 1 over the inside edge.
Tippett hit 180 in 133 appearances at the plate last season.
En route, runs one over the outside corner to jump ahead 1-2.
Doesn't that always happen? You pinch hit and the guy's just painting pitches on the black at the knees.
You just want one pitch where he misses just to let you settle in, and before you know it, you're running uphill a bit. Tippett trying to cash in LeCroy from third base. Again, start chipping away at this deficit. Root out of the windup and the pitch. A little bit further outside. The fans wanted to strike, but even Jeff Head's expansive zone isn't going to be that wide.
Fans are never happy.
Yeah, no one's screaming at him right there. It's a nice hat in the first row. Still under 70 on the pitch count. Popped up in a shallow left. I don't know if Davalon saw that right away, but it's going to hang up there. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. Gamecocks get a run, strand a runner at third. Halfway done. Hawks up by 6.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
We are live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats.
It's hard to believe how much goodness you can get in one bite.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 0% APR on a 2024 Prologue.
Kia, movement that inspires.
We're starting to see some chaos, and I don't just mean with your brackets, because we had 3 ranked SEC teams lose their midweek matchups, including Tennessee, their first. Texas lost to UTSA. Ole Miss, they lost to another ranked team, so that wasn't too bad either. But Alabama, Troy, took down Tennessee again last night. Justin LeBron with another multi-RBI game.
Yeah,
he's on pace for 90 or 100.
Oh, I know. He is just an absolute hitting machine. And at some point, you just wonder if teams are going to just start pitching around him. But that's where your other teammates have got to help you out.
Kosho kind of reaching for that one. Will pop it up, and it will be out of play. It shows you with Tennessee, though, for a while, going into the game on Tuesday night, they were the lone undefeated in college baseball. And you're the king of the hill, and you're the defending champs. You lose to ETSU, then you go to Alabama, you lose, and all of a sudden you're swimming a little bit.
I think so. Yeah, I tell you, baseball is a cruel game. It'll come back and bite you.
I'm guessing there weren't many times last year when they lost 2 straight. Someone needs to tell Becker to get out of the way, and it's the second baseman, Carrion, who will make that catch.
Becker thought about it.
He did.
I think he got overruled right there.
You're worried about your pitcher getting trucked by a teammate, right? I mean, you want to get him out of the way for one.
Well, absolutely. And then you're also you're right by the mound, too. So you're like, okay, well, that's got problems written all over that.
That's an obstacle course. Tippett, by the way, stayed in a play short after he pinch hit for Kazmar. Ryder Helfrich walked with the bases loaded in that 4-run, 1-hit inning back in the 3rd. Good pitch as he will wave and miss. Really be interesting to see, I think, once we get through this weekend, what the standings look like. I would say one thing, we aren't giving Alabama enough credit, Troy, at 22-1 now.
Yeah, they've looked like been really, really solid. Pitching's been good. The offense has just been amazing. Matthew Becker's just kind of a head scratcher. He's a guy that came in with a 5.4 ERA, which is not overly inflated, but a little high. But then opponents are only hitting .219 against him. The stuff's there. He just nibbling on the corners and keeping hitters off balance so far.
Helfrich fouls one back and out of play. Troy, I think another series to watch this weekend is LSU at Texas, number 2, number 5 in Austin.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how the fans come out in Austin for the Longhorns with LSU coming to town.
Georgia at Florida, both teams in the top 6 in the country. Becker thought he had rolled that one in, but Helfrich saw it up, so did Jeff Head. The count's gone full. (3-2) to Helfrich, a little bit up, and that's ball 4, and the Razorbacks have another base runner.
Just seems like every inning Arkansas has got traffic on the base paths.
Their team on base percentage is 5th in the SEC, and their slug is 4th. So there are still teams that are higher, but I think maybe if you went back and looked from those first 7 games to this point, maybe it would be at the very top or near.
When you've got a guy like Souza at the plate that is at the very beginning, I feel like I'm starting to come out of this offensive skid that he's had. Tremendous power, great athlete.
He hit the ground ball with 2 outs that went through the legs of Tippett, maybe with some funny spin that turned a 2-run inning into a 4-run frame.
Again, he had a really good BP. He was really working on hitting that ball to left field and left center.
His home run the other day that he hit was to the left of the batter's eye, and it ended up going down that hill towards the pond. It was 448 feet. It was the longest hit by a Razorback this season. Cahillo had a grand slam earlier this year that was 447, but Troy, we talk about Souza's approach, and when he's on going to left center, you see the homers to left center. You see a lot of outs there to second base when he's kind of rolling over on something.
Yeah, I think so. He's just been a little jumpy, and sometimes when you're not seeing the baseball well, then you try to get that barrel head out just a little early.
That one smoked to center for a base hit. 103 off his bat. Helfrich stops at second. Couple of runners on base for the Razorbacks on the home half of the 5th.
I was just going to wonder if the really good batting practice by Souza translated to the game, and he saw that breaking ball up and out of the hand of Becker. Sometimes the hitter will give up on that pitch because it starts out up over your head, but it just broke right down in the zone.
Was that Hawaii 5-0 theme music after that hit from Souza?
I missed it. That's classic if it was. That's Jimmy Sanchez.
It is.
Coming through with the tunes.
Yeah, it's been something this year to watch the 3 Hawaiians as Thomas Jr. steps in. And again, I told DVH the other day, I said, hey, he got 900 wins at Arkansas at Ole Miss. And I said, it's amazing that you've been doing this wrong the whole time, not having enough Hawaiians on your roster.
How about 2 playing for ORU in the midweek game?
Yeah,
5 Hawaiians on the field.
We had 3 different islands represented. Thomas Jr. waves and misses. He singled in a run back in the first that started the scoring, but I think sometimes about recruiting, I don't want to say there's an element of luck because you believe in the players you're bringing in, but sometimes I don't know if you realize what you have until you get here. In fact, I don't think Arkansas saw Souza in person. They got a recommendation.
Right.
Cahillo, the brother of Vahiva, and you want to keep them together as well, and all of a sudden they're a big-time force.
Becker really pulling the string on Thomas Jr.
There's a chopper that'll go foul outside of third base. The race is on for this baseball. Started out as a sprint.
Kept his pace up pretty good.
He did. He's telling the guys in the bullpen, don't worry, I've got it. The old man will get it. You guys just stay out there in your chairs.
He's getting his steps in, isn't he?
He's getting high fives.
He was like going, I'll get you next time. Next time.
Getting rounds of applause. Good pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Thomas Jr., I don't believe, agrees, but Becker gets the K, and that's out number 2. Without our friend Trackman, we can't tell you if Jeff Ed was right or Justin Thomas Jr. You think that was low,
Yeah,
Joy?
it looked like it was low and in. I think Thomas Jr.'s got a little bit of an argument right there.
Sometimes expressions like a picture worth 1,000 words.
That's right.
And not all of them fit for telecast.
Maybe it was a good thing he was continuing to chew on that gum and didn't say anything.
Here's Davalon, 2 more hits, 2 more runs scored. So if you're tuning in, I mentioned this, probably worth repeating. In this now 12 games, his last 12, he has scored 27 runs.
I just can't even comprehend it.
I mean, how do you even get on base 2 times a game, let alone score 2.5 runs a game?
Well, it shows what the players are doing behind him, but he's got to get on base.
Smoked up the middle, base hit past the dive of Tippett. Helfrich around third. The throw will go to third, and Souza's out, and the run did not score.
He dropped the ball.
Helfrich
He dropped the ball.
did not quite get to the plate, and you could almost see that one coming in real time. I think DVH is going to want to review this one. Did he believe, Troy, that Helfrich got to the plate, or was there an issue or a question about the tag at third base?
I thought in real time that Helfrich crossed home plate before that tag was made.
I think they're saying they uncalled it, saying they got him out before the run.
That's going to be Souza's decision. You can see DVH is talking to him about you cannot make that. Sorry about that. You just can't make that out at third base.
No, you can't with the play in front of you, especially as hard as that ball was hit. That was 107 off the bat of Davidoff. And the throw from Hall was a good one. And I was just watching that throw to third, and I was watching Helfrich try and get to the plate, and it was really close. I didn't think in real time he got there. But on the replay, at least they're showing on the big board, it's not even close. I mean, Helfrich is across the plate. Troy, could those possibly be synced up correctly? Because I thought it was a lot closer than what we're seeing.
Yeah, on the big board, it looks like he crossed and was almost out of the dirt part of the infield, but he did look like he slowed down a little bit.
That's where you almost need that on-deck hitter telling you to race to the plate. I mean, obviously you don't see Souza in the picture. I don't feel like that's timed up quite right.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anywhere near that.
If Jeff Head is
decisive.
calling it that run did not count,
I mean, that's not even worthy of a review. That should take you 5 seconds if that's matched up correctly.
yeah, that's not even remotely close.
Interesting part, Zach Root's already out there throwing.
See if you can get a better look right here.
Why would Zach Root be out there throwing already if this is under review? He might have to go back to the dugout and stop.
Now, from that angle, it looks like that the out was made before the runner crosses home plate, but you can definitely see Helfrich slowing down.
Okay, you're right. So if this is the angle right here, I think that's going to stand. Troy, that first angle we were looking at, as I said, was not matched up correctly. Because what they put on the big board is what we saw a few moments ago. So there's indignation right now, but what the fan saw was not the correct sequence of replay.
Yeah, absolutely. The scoreboard was not even close. And that's why the fans are just dumbfounded of what that call was.
And I knew as soon as they came back with that replay, the dugout and the fans were going to go crazy. But the first indication that we showed you, which was what was on the video board, was not timed up correctly. Otherwise, you would say, well, that's not even close. But when we saw that more expansive view upstairs, if the tag is made right there, that foot is in the air, but it's not quite across the plate. So I think Jeff Head was spot on.
I think he was too.
Well, there's so much to kind of break down when you talk after the game or tomorrow. Nathan Hall's going to lead off this inning. Going to flare one out to right, and that is going to be a base hit. So Nathan Hall has now hit in 13 straight games, a leadoff single in the 6th. But again, you mentioned Souza. You probably can't go first to third there, but if you're Helfrich, you can't assume that. Now, he was going hard, but was he going as hard as possible to get to the
it
plate?
looked like he kind of shut it down about that last 30 feet. And part of you as a coach, like Souza's aggressiveness, but there's going to be a run to score right there, and that'd be the third out of the inning.
Because there's no chance they're getting Helfrich at the plate
No.
if you stop at second base. Were this a 1 or 2 run game, that would really feel momentous. But if South Carolina gets a couple of runs here, might have a greater bearing on this game. Stone is 0 for 2. About to be 0 for 3. Souza makes the catch.
This is one of those innings, I think, if you're Arkansas, you really want Zach Root to come out and throw a quick 0 up on the board and just kind of erase that whole play. I'll tell you what, you better be careful right here. You got Ethan Petry at the plate. He can lose a baseball in a hurry.
He's doubled and popped up. Coach Maneri was talking about Ethan Petry a couple of days ago, and he said just a team-oriented guy, and he had a couple of examples of players he coached at LSU that kind of fit into that same category. Even though they have great individual numbers, so invested in the team, and he threw out Alex Bregman and Dylan Cruz.
That's a pretty good category to be in if you're Ethan Petry. We're two big leaguers right now.
Tell you what, with that uniform, it almost looks like Aaron Judge standing there in the box, doesn't it? With that gray uniform with the black. Big imposing figure. That ball's tattooed to left, maybe a little topspin, and Davilan will make the catch for out number 2.
I think that one hit just a little bit off the end of the bat by Petry. Boy, you talk about the game of inches.
And the freshman KJ Scobie is 0 for 2. "75 pitches into his night for Zach Root." And Troy mentioned Root had just 3 innings with 10 hits against Ole Miss last Friday, and they moved the game up 4 hours. The wind was howling out, and he would, I'm sure, tell you he didn't hit his spots and got behind the 8 ball, and then there were diving catches that weren't made, and balls were going all over the place. And it was one of those games you would gong if you could. Smoked fair down the line and left out of the reach of Iredale. Hall's going to go to third. He'll be held there on a double from Scobie. And the Gamecocks have runners at second and third and 2 outs. But I was going to say, had Root picked up an out, the question is, how long would you want him to keep going? Because still low on the pitch count, but the Gamecocks would like to tack on to some runs and some more pitches this inning.
Yeah, great swing right there by Scobie, and a really good job by Charles Davilan to hustle over, get that baseball, and potentially not allow a run to score this inning.
This is Kennedy Jones. Big man, big swing, foul ball, strike 1.
Arkansas does have a right-hander up in the bullpen tossing. Still feel like this is Zach Root's inning.
It gets away from Helfrich and goes to the backstop in a free run, and it's a 7-2 game.
Yeah, the wild pitch just got away from Helfrich. See, Root just spikes this one. Looks like he tried to turn over a changeup.
And that line drive caught by a leaping Nola Souza. Nolan was in the perfect spot, had to time his leap, and caught that soft liner to end the inning. Gamecocks get a run, and it's a 5-run advantage.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
The best part of the Sonic Strawberry Mangonada Slush con Tajín is probably the sweet strawberry. Oh, the tangy mango. El Tajín. Okay, esto está difícil. Discover the Strawberry Mangonada Slush and many more flavors in the Sonic app.
If you want to be surrounded by nature, don't end up surrounded by hotel. Get an Airbnb and go where hotels can't.
Welcome, wanderers. Here we wield the cosmic power of Mind Aid. Prepare yourself for a heavenly chorus of citrus whispers. Let the haze guide you as you journey through these realms. Juice. For you're not just drinking a beer. You're opening your mind to infinite wonder. Let your mind wander. Mind Haze.
My treat, fellas. I earned cash back with my Capital One Saver card.
Well, look who's here.
Hey, Cap.
Welcome to the Ice Kareem truck.
So many flavors I can't pick. Like your bracket. That's cold. Let's scoop them all up. We will take the whole ice cream truck to go. Marshmallow.
Peanut butter bracket.
What you got, Kareem?
Cookies and Kareem.
Can I get some?
All right.
Oh, magic with the steel.
Only one car has driven more than any other brand in SoCal. The Honda Civic, the #1 selling sedan and hatchback. And now, the Civic Hybrid has been named North American Car of the Year. Choose from Civic sedans, hybrids, SIs, hatchbacks, and Type Rs at your helpful Honda dealers. Come get a Civic today for just $259 a month when you search your local Honda dealer.
Some of the sights and sounds of Baumwalker Stadium. Are those real bats?
I don't think so. It's some wiffle ball
Use
bats.
those in your wiffle ball game in the backyard?
Absolutely.
All right. 7-2 Arkansas in front. We need a staff wiffle ball game.
That would be classic.
Fahiva Loy steps in. It was a couple of years ago. I walked outside. I think it was in August when Eric Musselman was here with the basketball team, and they were taking a break, and they were outside playing wiffle ball on the grass outside the practice facility. Well, there were some mighty swings, and there were some mighty whiffs. Mighty Casey had struck out.
It's pretty funny. Like, you can almost take a baseball player, and they can almost do any sport. But you sit there and try to take any other athlete and let them say, you've got to hit a baseball or even a wiffle ball. It does not end very well.
Jordan Weber, the gymnastics coach, told me your team tried to play volleyball a couple of years ago.